1. Subtle personality changes that go unnoticed. One of the earliest and most overlooked signs that may indicate an elderly person is nearing the end of life is a slow, almost imperceptible shift in personality. A once vibrant and talkative elder might become unusually quiet, withdrawn, or indifferent to things they once loved. They may seem disinterested in conversations, social events, or even family gatherings. This change isn't simply mood-related, it often reflects deeper neurological, psychological, or physiological shifts occurring within the body. Medical experts suggest that this emotional detachment is sometimes the brain's way of preparing for the final stages of life. The withdrawal is not just from people, but from life itself, as the person begins to conserve emotional energy. 2. Noticeable loss of appetite and weight. A gradual yet marked decrease in appetite is another red flag. Seniors may begin to eat less, avoid meals, or show no interest in their favorite foods. Over months, this leads to significant and sometimes dangerous weight loss. Doctors explain that as the body prepares for the final year, metabolism slows and the digestive system becomes less efficient. This isn't just due to age or medication. It is often tied to underlying conditions such as congestive heart failure, late-stage kidney disease, or terminal cancer that may not yet have been diagnosed. Food becomes less important to the body's survival mechanism, and the person may even forget to eat. 3. Increased sleeping and fatigue. If your loved one is sleeping much more than usual and feels exhausted even after minimal activity, this could be a serious indicator. It is normal for seniors to rest more, but when sleep becomes excessive and is accompanied by chronic fatigue, it may signal that the body is winding down. Doctors have observed that in the final months of life, the body begins to shut down non-essential functions to conserve energy. Oxygen levels may decline, making activity harder. Fatigue becomes a daily struggle, and naps may stretch into hours of unresponsiveness. This isn't mere laziness or boredom, it is a physiological sign of nearing the end. 4. Recurring infections or slow-healing wounds. Recurring illnesses, particularly infections like pneumonia, urinary tract infections, or skin conditions, are another strong sign. The immune system in older adults is already weaker, but in the final year of life, its deterioration accelerates. Wounds that once healed in days may now take weeks, or not heal at all. Infections may become more frequent, stubborn, and resistant to antibiotics. If your elderly loved one is in and out of the hospital due to seemingly minor infections, or has wounds that don't close, these could be physical indicators of an internal shutdown. It's the body signaling that it no longer has the capacity to repair itself. 3. Increased sleeping and fatigue. If your loved one is sleeping much more than usual and feels exhausted even after minimal activity, this could be a serious indicator. It is normal for seniors to rest more, but when sleep becomes excessive and is accompanied by chronic fatigue, it may signal that the body is winding down. Doctors have observed that in the final months of life, the body begins to shut down non-essential functions to conserve energy. Oxygen levels may decline, making activity harder. Fatigue becomes a daily struggle, and naps may stretch into hours of unresponsiveness. This isn't mere laziness or boredom, it is a physiological sign of nearing the end. 4. Recurring infections or slow-healing wounds. Recurring illnesses, particularly infections like pneumonia, urinary tract infections, or skin conditions, are another strong sign. The immune system in older adults is already weaker, but in the final year of life, its deterioration accelerates. Wounds that once healed in days may now take weeks, or not heal at all. Infections may become more frequent, stubborn, and resistant to antibiotics. If your elderly loved one is in and out of the hospital due to seemingly minor infections, or has wounds that don't close, these could be physical indicators of an internal shutdown. It's the body signaling that it no longer has the capacity to repair itself. 7. Loss of interest in personal hygiene and daily tasks. The elderly person may begin to neglect personal grooming, skip bathing, or wear the same clothes repeatedly. Tasks that were once second nature become ignored or seem overwhelmingly difficult. Doctors attribute this to both physical weakness and a subconscious awareness that such routines no longer matter. When someone stops brushing their hair, forgets to shave, or doesn't care about cleanliness, it's often more than depression or fatigue. It's a signal that the individual is withdrawing from life, one small habit at a time. This apathy towards self-care should prompt immediate attention and compassionate intervention. 8. Personality and emotional shifts when they no longer seem like themselves. One of the most overlooked signs that a senior may be approaching their final year of life is a profound shift in personality or emotional behavior. Families often say, "She just wasn't herself anymore," or "He started acting distant." These changes can appear as withdrawal from loved ones, sudden mood swings, unexpected irritability, or a flat, emotionless demeanor. It's not just aging, it's the brain and body quietly signaling that something deeper is going on. When the end is near, many older adults enter a reflective state, sometimes becoming philosophical, other times emotionally disconnected. This could be due to declining brain function, mini-strokes, or simply an inner preparation for departure. They may stop showing interest in things that once excited them: grandchildren, gardening, hobbies, or even conversations. They might say strange things like, "I've lived enough," or "I don't think I'll be here much longer." These aren't always cries for attention. Often, it's an unconscious awareness of something deeper happening inside. Sadly, many families brush these signs off as depression or old age. But for the elderly, this withdrawal can be nature's quiet way of preparing them and their families for goodbye. This is why it's so important to stay connected. Don't dismiss these personality changes. Sometimes, just being there without asking for explanations can offer peace to someone silently preparing to let go. 9. Repeated infections and poor wound healing. The body is slowing down. Another subtle yet serious sign is the repeated appearance of infections, whether urinary tract infections, UTIs, respiratory issues, or even skin problems that don't heal. If an elderly loved one is constantly on antibiotics, battling pneumonia, or suffering from recurring fevers or coughs, the body might be signaling that it's struggling to maintain its immune defense. Equally alarming is when wounds take too long to heal, or minor injuries lead to complications like cellulitis or ulcers. This tells us the circulatory system is weakening, the immune system is no longer sharp, and the body is entering a fragile state. Doctors often describe this as compromised resilience. The body isn't bouncing back the way it used to. The energy once spent on repair is now redirected toward maintaining basic life functions. It's not about one infection, it's the pattern that matters. If your loved one is constantly going in and out of hospitals for infections, this is a red flag that time may be running short. This is where families must advocate harder, prioritize comfort, warmth, immune support through diet, and above all, emotional presence. A loving hand, a clean space, and attention to hygiene can make a world of difference in the final chapters of someone's life. 10. Settling affairs or sudden desire to give things away. Intuitive preparation for departure. One of the most mysterious and moving signs of approaching death in seniors is a sudden, almost spiritual desire to settle their affairs. They may start organizing papers, handing out belongings, updating their wills, or giving away things they held dear for decades. You may hear things like, "I want you to have this," or "This belongs with someone who will use it." Some elderly people begin closing bank accounts, canceling services, or even giving verbal instructions for what to do after they're gone. These actions are not random. Psychologists and hospice workers believe this is a form of intuitive preparation, the subconscious mind accepting the truth before the conscious mind fully admits it. It's heartbreaking, yet beautiful. They're not giving up, they're making peace with the world, their past, and their family. Instead of dismissing their gestures or changing the topic, lean into these moments. Accept the gift, hear the story behind it, and thank them with your heart. Often, the elderly know far more than we think. If your parent or grandparent starts organizing their life in a final way, take it seriously, not with panic, but with presence. These are sacred moments, whispers from a soul preparing to transition. Closing thoughts. While these 7 signs are deeply sobering, knowing them can help you provide better care, emotional support, and love during your elderly loved one's final chapter. Being observant, proactive, and compassionate can make a world of difference. If you notice more than one of these changes occurring at once, it's time to consult with a physician and ensure your loved one receives not only medical attention, but also dignity, understanding, and comfort in their final year.